Welcome back. So tonight I had the joy of watching everybody I cheer for lose to teams that are outside of the playoffs. It was wondrous. It was fantastic. It's getting to that time of year where just that disappointment ramps up at playoff time. So looking forward to it. Anyways, all kidding aside, and I am kidding. We start off talking about Florida and Carolina. This felt like a playoff game. This absolutely felt like a playoff game. Bobrovsky versus Kochetkov. I think Kochetkov has really come into his own. Carolina might want to trade for a backup. They might be okay. So, early press by the Canes, but the shots are 3-0 for Florida at 3 minutes. Svechnikov's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. The Panthers press at 7.5 minutes. Aho has a rush chance that saved. Shea had a shot that was held as the Canes are getting some pressure. Canes press with 9.5 minutes left. The shots are 8 apiece with 5 minutes left, and then Florida just kind of takes over from there. They end up with a power play, do those Panthers, with 51.5 seconds left, but it's still scoreless after one. Second period, the Canes do finish the kill. In fact, the shots are 3-1 for Carolina at 3.5 minutes. So Florida had the really good finish to that first period, and Carolina had a good start to the second. Pesce has a shot that's blocked as the Canes are looking to get the lead. There's a post for D'Angelo. Aho's denied and close. Rodriguez has a net feed. That's blocked. The Panthers press at 9.5 minutes. Drury's robbed. Bobrovsky holds. I think that was the one that was right on the line. Canes press with 4 minutes left. Bennett fires one wide as the Panthers press, and then Reinhardt's denied and close. So it's still scoreless after two, but again, no lack of chances in this one. Third period, Stahl to Jarvis near miss. Natchez is denied. It's cleared out. The Canes press 2 minutes in. The teams exchange rush chances. Barkov's denied on a net drive. We get a power play for Florida. 4 minutes, and Carolina kills that off. Canes then get a power play. That's killed off as well. Aho has a rush chance. That's held. The Panthers press with 6 minutes left. Florida scores. Luostarinen, nice goal, but it's offside. So brilliant by the crew that checks on that for Carolina. Pretty good batting average for them on the season. The dislikes ramping up late. Again, if these teams meet in the playoffs, look out, and they could. A net feed to Barkov gets picked off, and then at 1941, Aho wires one from the slot. Svechnikov and Jesper Fast with the assists. That's the only goal in the game. It's a 1-0 win for Carolina. They go to 34-17-5 with the win. For Florida, 37-16-4 with the loss. Shots on net, 16-8 Florida in the first, 12 apiece in the second, 16-9 for Florida in the third. Final shots, 44-29 for the Panthers. Power plays, Florida 0 for 3, Carolina 0 for 1. The hits, 33-29 for Florida. Bobrovsky saves 28 out of 29, and Kochetkov saves all 44 shots for the shutout. So, yeah, I think Carolina's goaltending's all right. He came into tonight with a .905 save percentage. I'm going to guess it's a little bit higher right now. All right, next up, Colorado and Detroit. So when I did the power rankings last week, there were a lot of comments about, well, Detroit's not better than Colorado. Detroit's at least 5 places too high in the power rankings. Really not. Anyways, it's Annunen versus Lyon. The Wings press at 3.5 minutes. Sprong's denied. Annunen holds there. The shots are 4-2 in favor of the Abs at 4.5 minutes. Good flow, few whistles in that first half of the period. They were going pretty fast. Gostisbehere is a screened one-timer. That's held. Wood beats out an icing. The Wings press are kept to the outside. We get a power play for Colorado. That becomes a minute and 1 second of 4-on-4 play. Everything gets killed off there. That was the fastest first period of the 6 first periods that were played. That in the 4 o'clock starts, 4 o'clock my time. So we go to the second period, still scoreless. Early jump for the Abs. The Wings press at 2.5 minutes. Are kept to the outside. And then at 4:48, it's McKinnon burying one in close. Rantanen and Jack Johnson with the assists. So it's 1-0 Colorado. The shots are 4-3 for Colorado at 7 minutes. We get a power play for Detroit. Kane has a sharp angle shot that's saved. That power play is killed off. The Abs press with 9 minutes left. Perron to Veleno, near miss there. There's a rush chance for Wallman that goes wide. The Wings press with a minute and a half left. It's 1-0 Colorado after 2. Third period. Abs press at 3 minutes. There's a near miss for Raymond in close. Kopp has a rush chance that's saved. The shots are 4-3 Wings at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Detroit, and they score on it. It is Dylan Larkin from Perron and Gostisbehere at 12:02. Things get pushy on a hold by Annunen. And a little bit of a snow shower is what caused that. You can't do that. Although, as Mickey Redmond said, didn't get him in the face. Power play for the Avs, that's killed off. The Wings have a 3-on-1 that misfires. The Avs press with 2 minutes left. With 1:09 left, the Wings get a power play. So that rolls over into overtime, tied at 1. Wings set up, they cycle, but the Avs do finish the kill. The Wings press after it ends. McKinnon then has a shot that's saved. The Avs hold on to it. Eventually, Detroit gets it back, and at 3:42, on a one-timer from the slot, it's Patrick Kane with the goal from Larkin and Sherratt. It's a 2-1 overtime win for Detroit. They go to 30-20-6 on the season. Colorado 35-18-5 with the overtime loss. Shots on net, 11-5 Colorado in the first, 11-9 Detroit in the second, 12-9 Detroit in the third. Both teams had 2 shots in the overtime. Detroit with the shot that matters. Final shots 31-30 for Colorado. Power plays, the Avs 0 for 4, Detroit 1, or 0 for 3. Detroit 1 for 4. The hits were 13 apiece. Annunen, and I want to say Annunen. I still want to say Annunen. I know it's Annunen or Annunen. Anyways, 28 saves on 30 shots. I'll figure it out eventually, or I'll just be old. Lyon with 30 saves on 31 shots. I'll probably just be old, right? We could just go ahead and agree on that. Anyways, so Detroit, pretty gutsy win. They come back against one of the contending teams from the West. All right, next up, the Rangers and the Devils. This apparently isn't a great matchup for New Jersey. At least it wasn't tonight. Shesterkin versus Dawes. Near miss for Jack Hughes on a rush. We get a power play for the Devils. It's a 5-minute call on Rempe. It took him a while. It took him such a while to get that done that this game was the slowest of the night of the early games, and I think overall it probably had the longest run time. So the review says he's done, so it's a 5-minute power play for the New Jersey Devils. Bratt fires fans on a one-timer. The Rangers do kill that off 6 shots, so it was the Igor show, basically. Power play for New York, and they score on it. It's buried on a Rangers bounce. It bounces over to Zibanejad, and at 9:14, he scores. It's 1-0 Rangers. Devils press to respond. Panarin has a net drive chance that's held. Toffoli's denied on a fast break with 3:01 left. The Devils get a power play. That becomes a minute and 9 seconds of 4-on-4. And on a turnover, Lafreniere scores the second unassisted goal of the period at 17:56. He buries it, and then everything gets killed off. So it's 2-0 Rangers after the first. Second period, Trouba had a fight with Bastian. The Rangers come out of that with a power play. That's killed off. The shots are 2-0 New York at 5.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Rangers. That's killed off. Devils really need a goal. Toffoli to Jack Hughes gets picked off, and then Kreider buries one short side on a rush. Panarin and Shesterkin with the assists at 9:53. So that's how you can tell it's a rush, is when the goalie's in on the scoring. Nemitz is down. We get a power play for the Devils. It's 4 minutes. So long, extended power plays for the Devils. Great penalty killing from the New York Rangers follows. Meyer has a one-timer that's saved. I think that was the best chance New Jersey had. That's killed off. Again, it's the Igor show. Bratt can't bury one on a rush. 3:25 left. The Devils go back to the power play. Bratt can't bury one on a rush. That's killed off. And the Igor chance get going again. A lot of Rangers fans in New Jersey, which is nothing new, of course. Has to be frustrating for the Devils, but clearly didn't motivate them to figure out Igor here. I say that like it's easy, right? Schneider has a near miss on a 4-on-1, and then Lafreniere roofs one on a fast break. Trocheck and Panarin with the assist at 19:20. Lafreniere just splits the defense and scores. Makes it 4-0 for the New York Rangers after 2. Third period. Shots are 5-0 Devils at 4 minutes because it's the Igor show. Power play for New York. That's killed off. The Rangers press after it's done. Hischier has a chance that's held. Shesterkin's being a wall at this point. Kakko has a net drive that's held, and then Trocheck scores to make it 5-0. Panarin and Gustafsson with the assists at 14:29, and we get more Igor chance. However, New Jersey would break the shutout. It is Jack Hughes from Toffoli at 17:51. He buries that one 5-hole. That's as close as New Jersey gets. The Rangers win 5-1. They go to 38-16-3. With this result tonight and other results going on, the New York Rangers now have the best points percentage in the NHL, and they are right close to being first overall. New Jersey 28-24-4 with the loss. Shots on net 16-8 New Jersey in the first, 11-6 New Jersey in the second, 13-4 for the Devils in the third. Final shots 40-18 for the Devils, and yet they lose 5-1. Power plays 1 for 5 for the Rangers, 0 for 5 for New Jersey, including that 5-minute power play. Hits 26-17 for the Rangers. Shesterkin, fantastic night, 39 saves on 40 shots. Nico Dawes, 13 saves on 18 shots. He was better in the third, kind of, sort of, but it's not like the Rangers had a lot of chances, so Yeah, we'll see what the Devils do, but it does feel like they need a goaltender. As much as I said, it looks like Carolina. I think Carolina's need for a goaltender still there. It feels like for the Devils, it's a little more pronounced now than Carolina. A while ago, it would have been kind of 50-50. All right, next up, the Dallas Stars and the Ottawa Senators. Man, Dallas. Ottinger versus Forsberg. The shots are 2-0 for the Sens at 4 minutes, and they came out really well, and at 4:12 they score. It's Norris from Batherson and Sanderson. And Ottawa 15-13 when they scored first. That record gets a little better tonight. Stars press for response. Marchment fans on an opportunity. We get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. Suter to Robertson, near miss. Good forechecking by the Sens. We then get a power play for the Senators. That's killed off. Norris has a net drive. That's blocked. There's a near miss for Benn. The Sens clear. And then at 19:50, on what was a good last-minute press by Dallas, Pavelski buries one in close. Benn and Heiskanen with the assists. It's 1-0 after, or 1-1, I should say, after one. Second period. Early press by the Stars. Sagan has a shot that deflects out. Stars press again at 4.5 minutes. It feels like maybe they're going to get the lead, but at 5:37, it is Norris with his second of the game. Batherson and Gregg with the assists. So Batherson with a couple of helpers. He's been quiet lately. Batherson then nearly adds another. Ottawa with some momentum. And at 8:56, they do get another. It's Shabbat from Stützle and Joseph. That ends the night for Ottinger. Wedgwood's in the net. I don't know if it was just to change things. I wouldn't say Ottinger had a great game, but it was probably just to try to, wake up the Stars or try to change things. But the Stars press with 8.5 minutes left. Robertson has a net feed that's picked off. The Stars getting zone time. They're not getting shots. So Ottawa was letting him have the zone. They were blocking very well. They were keeping it along the boards. It was actually impressive. Again, Ottawa's playing the best hockey they have all season. It's just too bad they waited till February to start this. So 32.1 seconds left. The Sens with a power play, and they score on it. It is Pinto from Giroux at 19:41. That makes the score 4-1 for Ottawa after 2. Third period. Stars press at 2 minutes. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. Shots are 6-1 for Ottawa 8 minutes in. They did not sit back. Sens go back to the power play. Stützle kicks one in, so that didn't count. That power play gets killed, and he knew. It's not like he kicked it in and going, yay, look, I scored with my stick. Look, my stick. He knows. Sens press with 4.5 minutes left. Tkachuk has a rush chance that's saved. We got a full 60 minutes tonight, I thought, from Ottawa. They win 4-1. They go to 24-27-3 with the win. Dallas 34-16-8 with the loss. Shots on net 8-6 Ottawa in the first, 13-4 Ottawa in the second, 9-5 Ottawa in the third. Final shots 30-15 for the Sens. Power plays, Dallas 0 for 1, Ottawa 1 for 4. The hits 30-22 for the Sens. Ottinger saved 8 out of 11. Wedgwood saved 18 out of 19 in relief. And Forsberg, not busy, saved 14 out of 15. He was good when he had to be. And now I need to change boards. All right, so the descent of Montreal continues with this result tonight. It's Primo versus Jarry in Pittsburgh. The Habs press at 2 minutes. There's a near miss for Harris on a rebound. Suzuki's denied and close. The shots are actually 8-5 for Montreal at 7 minutes. And at 9:05, on a turnover, Matheson, wires one past a screen. The Habs then look for another. The Penguins press with 9.5 minutes left. Eventually, on a turnover, it sets up some pressure, and the Penguins tie it. It's Letang from Malkin and O'Connor at 11:34. Habs press with 7 minutes left. There's a post for Carlson on a face-off win by the Pens in the Habs zone. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period. Habs press at 2 minutes. We get a power play for Montreal. That's killed off. Press by the Penguins at 6.5 minutes. We have a post for Puustinen, and then his next chance is saved and held. Shots are 7-5, though, for Montreal at 9.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Penguins, and 11:30, Brian Rust scores on the power play. That makes it 2-1. And then at 11:51, so seconds later, O'Connor scores. Puustinen and Carlson with the assists at 11:51. So O'Connor with a goal and an assist tonight. That's a pretty good night of hockey for him. Penguins go back to the power play. That's killed off. Rust then has a wraparound chance. That's saved. It's 3-1 Pittsburgh after 2. Third period. Early press by Montreal. We get a power play for the Habs. That's killed off. Habs go back to the power play. That's killed off as well. The shots are 8-1 Montreal at 9.5 minutes. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Eventually, Montreal pulls the goalie because they're down by 2, and that means Letang hits the empty net at 18:35. Malkin then has a chance after, which is saved by Primo. But yeah, Pittsburgh wins this one 4-1. They go to 25-21-8 on the season. for the Montreal Canadiens, 22-27-8 with the loss. Shots on net, 14-12 Montreal in the first, 10-8 Pittsburgh in the second, 9-5 Montreal in the third. Final shots, 31-27 for the Habs. Power plays, Montreal 0 for 3, Pittsburgh 1 for 2. The hits, 19-9 for Pittsburgh. Primo saved 23 out of 26. Jari had another good night, 30 saves on 31 shots. So goaltending is not a problem for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Coming into this season, there was some concern with Jari and can he stay healthy and can Nedeljkovic be a good backup? And yeah, nobody's worried about the goaltending in Pittsburgh right now. We don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but for right now, nobody's concerned. All right, next up. Washington and Tampa. So the Tampa Bay Lightning have been up and down all season, and it feels like there's more down right now than up. But again, you know, it depends on the night. Lindgren versus Vasilevsky in this one, and Vasi hasn't seemed to be himself this year in terms of the standard he's normally at. But anyways, early Bolts press are kept to the outside, and then at 2.5 minutes, Aube-Kubel buries one top shelf from the doorstep. Malenstein with the assist there. We get a power play for Washington. That's killed off. The Caps press after it's done. The shots are 6-4 Tampa at the half. We get a power play for the Bolts. That's killed off. Tampa Bay presses after that ends as well, but McMichael would score. He gets that one from Edmondson and Wilson at 16-19. Like I said, he's heating up. Then there's a crossbar for Radish as Tampa Bay's looking to answer. Aube-Kubel's then denied on a 2-on-1 rush. It's 2-0 Washington after the first. Second period, the Caps press at 2 minutes. The teams then exchange rushes. We get a power play for Washington. That's killed off. And then Brandon Hagel scores to get Tampa on the board from point, and Kucherov at 9:16. He wires that one from the slot. Bolts then press to tie it. However, at 12:14, Mantha on a one-timer on a 3-on-1 rush. Strome and Oshie with the assists on that one. That restores the 2-goal lead for Washington. It's 3-1. Protas takes a puck to the face, more to the shield than to the face like the visor, and He would return to the game. I think he left for stitches. Anyways, power play for the Caps. That's killed off. 2:33 left. The Bolts get a power play. That's killed off as well. And things are kind of punchy at the horn because why not? I was thinking to myself, like, are they just kind of like, let's punch each other at the horn? How does that sound? Yeah, sure, we can do that. So third period, 2:42 in. Nick Paul makes this interesting. He scores from Sherry and DeHaan, and it was a really heavy press by Tampa Bay. They're out shooting the Washington Capitals 5-1 at 3 minutes. At 3:06, Mott scores from Perbix. It was a good forecheck that set it up. We have a tie game. The Caps answer, but offside, so that goal comes off the board. Kucherov then has a screenshot that's saved. There's a power play for Tampa. That's killed off. Caps then go to the power play. That was killed as well, but at 15:01, Washington gets the lead back. It's Rasmus Sandin from Protas and Strome. The Bolts press with 3 minutes left. Eventually they pull the goalie, and McMichael would hit the empty net. Ovechkin and Wilson with the assist at 18:58. So Ovechkin gets a point in this one. Your final score is 5-3 for the Capitals. They go to 26-21-8 with the win. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're 30-23-5 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-8 Tampa in the first, 11-7 Washington in the second, 15-5 Tampa in the third. They do outshoot Washington 32-24. Power plays, Washington 0 for 4, Tampa Bay 0 for 3. Hits 20-19 Washington. Lindgren saves 29 out of 32. Vasilevsky saved 29 out of 33. So, yeah, entertaining game if you're a Caps fan. If you're a Bolts fan, probably a little more frustrating than entertaining. All right, next up, the Islanders and the Blues. So, how about those Blues? So it's Varlamov versus Binnington. There's an early Islanders power play. Good pad save on Barzal. That power play's killed off. Binnington was dialed in early. The shots are 3-0 New York at 3 minutes. Barzal has a rush that's blocked. We get a power play for the Blues. That's killed off. Blues press after that's done. The Islanders go back to the power play. Palmieri's denied. The rebound's held. The Blues had a 3-on-2 that's blocked after that power play's killed off. And then the Blues get another power play. Shen with a near miss. That power play's killed off as well. Blues press in the final minute. So a lot of special teams time in that first period. Not a lot of flow and not a lot of shots. Second period, that would change. Lee's denied on a breakaway. There's a crossbar and out for Robert Thomas. The Islanders press 2 minutes in. We get a power play for the Blues. They score on this power play. It is Sod at 4:38 from Sundqvist and Shen. Great passing and buried. And then at 4:45 on a rush, Buchnevich scores from Thomas and Kyrou. So what do? You call a timeout. So Patrick Wall calls a timeout. It doesn't work. At 5 minutes and 10 seconds, so 25 seconds later, Buchnevich scores again from Kyrou and Thomas. And that's a rush goal as well. So it's 3-0 St. Louis. Very rapid fire goals there. Power play for the Islanders, that's killed off. The shots with 9.5 minutes left are 14-6 for the Islanders. I did have the game on. There wasn't a whole lot else for me to discuss at that point, but keep in mind that's when we had 8 games on at the same time. So we go to the third period with the Blues up 3-0. The early jump is for the Islanders. Lee with a near miss as the Islanders press. 2.5 minutes in, the Islanders have the only shot that's hit the net. Barzal has a rush chance, that's held. There's a power play for the Islanders. Barzal's denied. Parayko clears. Power play's killed off. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. There's a post for Dobson, and Patrick Waugh, thinking outside the box, pulls the goalie very early. And at 9:21, an empty netter, Buchnevich gets the hat trick. He scores from Thomas. So Thomas, with 3 assists in this game, makes it 4-0. The Hats rain down on the ice for a while. And I don't blame Waugh for trying something a little different. The Islanders look to answer. Kyrou fires one wide on a rush. There's a power play for St. Louis. That becomes 13 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. And then there's a late power play for the Blues that kills the rest of the game. So it is a 4-0 win. The Tony the Tiger Magnet makes its second appearance of the night and final appearance of the night. With the 4-0 win, St. Louis goes to 30-24-2. They want to hold on to that playoff spot. The Islanders 23-19-14 with the loss. Shots on net 8-6 St. Louis in the first, 20-9 for the Islanders in the second, and then 12-8 for the Islanders in the third. The final shots are 38-25 for the Islanders. Power plays, New York 0 for 5, St. Louis 1 for 5. The hits 25-11 for the Islanders. Varlamov saves 21 out of 24. Bennington at the other end, 38 save shutout. Again, that definitely helps your save percentage. I kept wanting to say average. I'm like, nope, that's goals against average, which it helps as well, but save percentage really boosts that a lot. All right, next up, Boston and Calgary. Entertaining game. Did I get mad at this one? Absolutely not. Not at all. I didn't get mad at any of the games tonight, to be honest. There was no real jeopardy, I thought, between Dallas and Ottawa. I knew Dallas was losing. This one I had suspicion because Boston played last night, and Calgary needed to win more. So let's discuss. Ullmark versus Markstrom. Sharon Govich is denied. Puck's cleared out. The shots are 3-0 Calgary, 4 minutes in, so they came out with the edge early on. Carlo fires one wide. It's cleared. Ullmark at this point is the reason this game stays scoreless. Get a power play for Boston. Pasternak has a shot that deflects out. Calgary kills that off. Flames press with 8.5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hold by Ullmark. And then at 12:55, Shillington scores again. He didn't have one in the last game as well. Shillington from Kuzmenko and Sharon Govich. The Bruins press with 6.5 minutes left. And Markstrom comes out of the net and turns it over. And as a Canuck fan, I can tell you that I very often would say to Markstrom when he played for the Canucks, don't come out of the net. Just don't. This is another one of those examples. And I understand what he was thinking here, but he ends up passing the puck to Coyle. Coyle says thanks and puts it into the net. That's at 18:40. But Calgary answers. It's Pospisil from Zeri and Kadri at 19:23. So kudos to the Flames for answering. And that one he buries in close. So not much chance for Ullmark to save that one, although he didn't hold the puck either. So it's 2-1 Calgary after one. Second period, early press by Boston. Zach at Alauco, there's a near miss there. Bruins had the lone shot on net 3 minutes into the period, so Calgary doing a good job of limiting how many pucks hit the net. Pospisil has a shot, and a shot that's saved. The rebound's cleared by Boston. Richard with a net feed, that's blocked. Coleman nearly adds one. I believe that one was on a rush as well. Kuzmenko has a wrister, that's caught and held by Ullmark. Bruins draw a power play. Pasternak's denied. That power play's killed off. Shots are 9-5 for Boston with 5 minutes left. 2:14 left. The Bruins get a power play. That becomes 4-on-4. So to start the third period, there's 30 seconds left in the power play for the Flames. The Bruins do finish the kill. Frederick to Carlo, there's a near miss there. And then at 2:33, Coyle buries one on a net drive for his 20th goal of the season. Kudos to him for reaching 20 goals. Richard and Wotherspoon with the assist. So there's Richard again on the board. Backlund fans on one as the Flames press. The Bruins press at 7.5 minutes, and there's more pressure by Boston with 6.5 minutes left. They had a very good third period considering they played last night as well. Things get pushy on a hold by Markstrom. Backlund fires one wide on a rush. Hannafin with a near miss. The Bruins cleared out there. Flames press in the final minute. It's 2-2 after the third period. We are going to overtime. Bruins 5-9 in overtime. Calgary 4-1. So yeah, I've watched Boston lose a lot in overtime. I kind of know how these go. Sharon Govich has a rush chance, that's blocked. McAvoy and Boquist are absolutely robbed at the other end. And then Nazem Kadri ends it. at 3:56. The Flames win this one 3-2 in overtime. They go to 27-25-5 with the win. The up and down Flames continue to be very up and down. Boston 34-12-12 on the season with that overtime loss. Shots on net 16-10 Calgary in the first, 11-5 Boston in the second, 9-6 Boston in the third. They did outshoot Calgary 3-2 in overtime, but Calgary had the shot that matters. Final shots 33-29 for the Bruins. Power plays Boston 0 for 3, Calgary 0 for 1. The hits 29-23 for Calgary. Boston's next game's in Vancouver on Saturday. Ullmark 26 saves on 29 shots. Markstrom 31 saves on 33 shots. I haven't decided what I'm going to wear for that preview. We shall see. That being said, I need to go to my third board. Alrighty, so Vancouver and Seattle. So this, I do think that results like this will further a feud between these two teams. I think this is what you need. You need both of them to be good. I'm gonna argue though, with the argument that Seattle's gonna make the playoffs. I did hear that on one of the other feeds tonight, and I was like, for Seattle to make the playoffs, somebody ahead of them has to slow down. Plus, Seattle came into today 4-4-2 in their last 10, so it's something you got to keep in mind that they have to win. They have to go on a bit of a streak here. But anyways, it's Demko versus Grubauer, and maybe this is the start of a streak for Seattle as a unfortunate streak continues for Vancouver. Schwartz has an early chance it's held. Miller hits the side of the net as the Canucks press. At 4:35, Miller takes advantage of the fact that Grubauer's stick was stuck in the net behind him. Myers and Besser with the assist. That's the second shot on net for Vancouver. Canucks draw a power play. That's killed off. Tolvanen has a rush chance that's held. The shots are 4-2 for Seattle. With 9.5 minutes left, we get a power play for the Kraken. There's a shorthanded break for Miller. He fires high there. And then at 13:21, just after the penalties ended, Vince Dunn fires one from the point and scores. McCann and Burakovsky with the assists. We're tied at 1. Kraken press with 4 minutes left. Momentum for Kraken 2. They have some late pressure. And with 3.6 seconds left, they get a power play. That rolls over into the second period. Jared McCann, I mentioned in the preview, McCann loves to play against Vancouver. Gets the goal here at 21 seconds and puts Seattle ahead 2-1. Kraken press at 3 minutes. There's a blocker save on a chance for Höglander. Shots are 3-1 Vancouver at 4.5 minutes. And at 4:57, Lafferty scores. Suter and Bluger with the assists on that one. So all of a sudden it's tied. We then get a power play for Vancouver. That's killed off. Kraken get a power play. McCann's denied. That leads to a shorthanded 3-on-2 rush. That's killed off. Schultz has a shot after. That one's held. So unlike in the first, this time the shot after the power play doesn't go in. Canucks get another power play. There's a shorthanded chance for Tanev. He's denied. That power play's killed off. And at 13:29, Schultz scores from Dumoulin and Eberle. And it's a turnover, and he wired that one from a distance. I think Demko would love to have another shot at that puck. At 14:38, Eberle buries his own rebound. He loves playing against Vancouver as well. McCann and Schultz with the assists. It's 4-2 in favor of Seattle. 1:44 left. The Canucks get a power play, so that rolls over into the third period. Seattle finishes the kill. Kraken press at 2 minutes. The shots are 2-1 for Seattle at 3.5 minutes. They did a very good job of controlling the Canucks in that period. Beniers is denied on a 2-on-1 rush. Gord has a net feed that's picked off. Canucks press. They can't get to the net. I've seen people complaining online that there wasn't enough effort from the Canucks. I think I'll put it this way. I think Seattle outworked them tonight. I will say that. Cole has a shot that's held as the Canucks make a push trying. Beniers is denied then on a 3-on-2. The goalie pull happens with more than 3 minutes left. At 17:51, Eberle hits the empty net. McCann with the assist. And so your final score is 5-2. Seattle goes to 24-21-11 on the season. For Vancouver, 37-16-6 with the loss. That is 4 regulation losses in a row for Vancouver. They are now tied atop the league with the Boston Bruins, but the New York Rangers, with games in hand, have a better points percentage than Vancouver. Shots on net, 9-5 Seattle in the first, 12-7 Seattle in the second, 10-9 Seattle in the third. They limited Vancouver to 21 shots and had 31 of their own. Power plays, Vancouver 0 for 4. That's a concern. So's the penalty kill. 1 for 3 for Seattle on the power play. Hits 11-8 for Vancouver. Demko saves 26 out of 30. Grubauer saves 19 out of 21. So huge win for Seattle. We'll see if they can follow that up with another. All right, next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs in Vegas. I didn't expect this. I thought, Toronto's playing well. And I don't think they're going to roll over in Vegas. I mean, they had this winning streak coming in and everything, and it just felt like this is the kind of game where Vegas would probably win. But It's Jones versus Hill, and Martin Jones knows Vegas. Now, Vegas also knows Martin Jones pretty well from when he was in San Jose. Riley returns, and it's not a jinx. There you go. Vegas presses at 2 minutes. The shots are 5-3 for Vegas. We're only 3 minutes in. So Martin Jones very busy and very good early. Plenty of Leaf fans in attendance as well. Notice that during the Go Knights Go, there was some Leafs being set in there as well. Leafs press at 7 minutes. Bertuzzi's denied. There's a hold by Hill there. Theodore's has a screenshot that saved. Rempel's denied from a sharp angle, and then a point shot, pinballs in off of Martinez and then off of Hill's back into the net. It's McCabe from McMahon and Tavares at 10 minutes. Bobby McMahon, somebody's got him in a fantasy league somewhere, may have taken him as a joke, and he's a beast right now. Leafs look for another. Eventually they do score. At 11:10, Kampf buries his own rebound from Reeves. So Ryan Reeves with an assist against his former team. Leafs press for another, and at 14:20, Tavares scores. So he went a long time between goals, 5-on-5. He got one tonight after getting one in the last game against Arizona. Robertson and McMahon with the assists, and that ends the night for Adin Hill. Adin Hill had a good game. It's not his fault. That shot at 14 minutes and 20 seconds was the 20th shot for Toronto. I think if Bruce Cassidy could have pulled his 6 defensemen and put 6 other defensemen out there, he might have thought about it. Near miss for Matthews. It's all Leafs. And then at 16:11, Domi. He scores from Nylander and Bertuzzi. It's 4-0 Toronto after one. Second period. At 51 seconds, on a rush, Carlson wires it. Marchessault and Theodore with the assists. I never count Vegas out. Shots are 3-1 Toronto at 5 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. That's killed off. Much quieter. Much quieter. Period of hockey. There were only 7 shots in the first half of the second period. After a first period that featured 37 shots. So, just save your energy. Domi then wires one on an end-to-end break. Benoit and Marner with the assist, 11:44. It's Domi's first 2-goal game since he was a Blackhawk. So that's how long that's gone. Leafs press with 7.5 minutes left, and eventually Holmberg gets a goal at 15:36. Vegas would press in the final minute, but yeah, it is 6-1 for Toronto after 2. Third period, 59 seconds in. So again, the first minute of the period, Marchessault scores from Theodore and Brisson. And then at 1:25, Amadio buries one in close. Barbashev and Stevenson with the assists. So I put buried it in close. Here they come. So I was like, this could be ugly. That's 2 goals in 26 seconds. But the Leafs, to their credit, did not let Vegas get much after that. Leafs press at 2.5 minutes. The fans are calling penalties, and I mean multiple penalties. The ref is not having it, but Vegas did get a power play not long after that. So that it does feel like that lines up, that the referee hears the crowd and then calls a penalty. And I don't know if it's a conscious decision or not. It's one of those things where I'd love to talk to NHL refs about that. But anyways, so that power play's killed off, and then at 10:35, Matthews tips one in on a rush. That was a beautiful tip. It was a great pass by Holmberg. Marner with the secondary assist, and yeah, it's 7-3. The Leafs press with 4 minutes left. Yeah, the Leafs decided to basically not go into the prevent defense, and I love that. So Toronto wins 7-3. They go to 32-16-8 with the win. Vegas 32-19-6 with the loss. So this is the brilliance of Vegas. You take Stone and Eichel out of the lineup so that your team loses 4 out of 5 games, and you're nowhere near first in your division. You're threatening to maybe drop out of second in your division. Who knows? Maybe without Eichel and Stone, maybe they fall right out of the playoffs and win the draft lottery. Maybe that's the master plan. I don't know. The craziness of the conspiracy theories around Vegas are funny to me. All right, shots on net favored Toronto the whole way. 23-14 in the first, 10-5 in the second, 10-7 in the third. Final shots 43-26 for Toronto. Power plays Toronto 0 for 2, Vegas 0 for 1. Hits 29-28 for Vegas. Martin Jones 23 saves and 26 shots. Hill 17 saves on 20 shots in the first. He didn't play the whole first, and then Thompson 19 saves on 23 shots the rest of the way. So yeah, pretty entertaining game, though, wasn't it? All right, next up, the Nashville Predators and LA Kings. Nashville does not play an exciting style of hockey, but they're starting to win. They went into St. Louis. They went into Vegas. Now they've gone into LA. That's impressive. So, Saros versus Riddick. Early jump for the Kings. A good flow early. No whistles. Almost no whistles, anyways. There's no shots 5 minutes in because it's that flow back-and-forth style of hockey. Jankowski has a shot that's held. Doughty has a shot that's blocked and cleared. Lewis is then denied on a rush. And at 8:47, Trennan buries a backhand in close to put Nashville ahead. Sissons and McDonough with the assists. Kings then draw a power play. That's killed off. Forsberg has a chance that's held. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Suppressed by Nashville. That's kept to the outside. Laferriere misses one high on a breakaway. 2:16 left. The Kings get a power play. That becomes a minute and 1 second of 5-on-3. That's too much. Fiala scores during the 5-on-3. Kempe and Kopitar with the assists at 19:07. And he buries that one from the slot. So the 5-on-4 rolls over into the second period where the Preds finish off that kill. Shots are 4-2 Nashville at 4 minutes. We get a power play for the Preds. That's killed off. No shots and no momentum coming out of that. Pressed by Nashville at 7.5 minutes. Novak to Yossi. Near miss there. Preds are controlling the game at this point. They really just need a goal. Forsberg's denied on a turnover. Yossi has a shot that's held. There's some pushing. Dano has a net feed that's picked off. And then Jankowski just jams one in at the net. Evangelista and Novak with the assists at 14:46. So welcome back to the NHL. Mark Jankowski, he gets a goal. It's 2-1 Nashville. 3:36 left. Nashville gets a power play. That's killed off. It's 2-1 Preds going to the third. In the third, shots are 2-0 LA at 2 minutes. They did come out pretty well. Fiala has a net feed that's picked off. The Kings press at 4.5 minutes. Lots of zone time. Not a lot of shots for LA at this stage. The shots are 5-1 for the Kings at the half. And I mean, if you're Nashville, you'll take that, right? The shot every other minute. McDonough to O'Reilly gets blocked. Byfield has a rush chance. That's caught and held. He was going for another highlight reel goal there. We got a power play for Nashville. There's a shorthanded rush by Kempe. That's saved. That power play's killed off. The Preds are protecting late. It reminded me of that game against Vegas where they were just tamping everything down, not worried about getting any more goals themselves, and not really playing that prevent defense, but I thought they defended quite well. Kaliev's denied on a 2-on-1 rush. The goalie pull happens with more than 3 minutes left. Sissons hits the empty net from Lauzon at 17 minutes. The Kings pull the goalie again because why not? And Lauzon hits the empty net from Sissons at 19:08. Your final score is 4-1. The Nashville Predators go to 30-25-2 on the season. LA drops to 28-17-10. LA is not like way above that playoff line. So at any rate, shots on net are 6-5 LA in the first, 11-8 Nashville in the second, 14-5 LA in the third. Final shots 28-21 for the Kings. Power plays 0-3 for Nashville, 1-3 for LA. Hits 18-17 Nashville. Saros saves 27 out of 28. Riddick saves 17 out of 19. And this is an 80s magnet. It just didn't fit up here, and I didn't want to mess around with all the numbers and all the logos at the top. So 80s magnet here. That's your reel to reel. Yeah, the old reel to reels. Just go watch an Evil Dead movie. You'll see it. Unless I'm talking to younger audience. You don't watch Evil Dead. Don't. All right. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you haven't done so already. I forgive you. Just go ahead and fix it. But yeah, it was a fun night. Let me know your thoughts about the games tonight, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.